Hey, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about leaves and the structure and the functions of leaves. So what is the function of a leaf? What is its purpose? Well, the leaf provides many functions for the plant. First of all, we all know from our previous part of this unit that the leaf actually ends up doing photosynthesis and making food for the plant. The leaf takes water, carbon dioxide in through the stomata, and it combines that with the sunlight it has captured with its chlorophyll from its chloroplasts. And it takes all that together and it ends up making oxygen and glucose. So the leaf provides food for the plant. The leaf also releases excess water through a process called transpiration. If the plant has too much water in it, the extra water will end up leaving the plant through the leaves, through the tiny holes in the bottom of the leaf called the stomata. And that process where water leaves the plant and goes into the atmosphere is called transpiration. Guys, that's going to be a glossary term. You're going to want to put that in your glossary. Transpiration is the process where water leaves a plant and goes into the atmosphere. It's also part of the water cycle, if you remember that from 6th grade. What else do leaves do? Well, leaves also push sugars into the stem, into the phloem of the stem, so that the sugars can go up and down the plant. And the leaves also pull water into themselves from the stem through the xylem. So those are the functions of a leaf. What is the leaf structure? Well, pretend this is the top up here. This is the top of the leaf. And pretend down here this is the bottom of the leaf. Okay? The top and the bottom of the leaf are called the epidermis. And they are exactly one cell layer thick. So they're very, very thin. The epidermis is also very waxy, so that extra water can't be absorbed into the leaf through the epidermis. Because we don't want water coming in through the epidermis. We want water to come in through the roots. Okay? So the epidermis is on the top and the bottom of the leaf. It's very waxy and it's only one cell thick. Then right here you have veins that come into the leaf. These veins are where the water is pulled into the leaf from the xylem, and it's also where the sugars go out into the phloem of the stem. So the water is pulled into the leaf from the stem, from the xylem, and the sugars go out into the phloem in the stem. These veins also help support the leaf and help make the leaf very flat. If you look at a leaf, guys, you basically can see the epidermis in the veins. The epidermis is the top and the bottom layer of the leaf, and it feels really waxy. And the veins are basically those really thick, circular kind of strings that go through the leaf. Underneath of the epidermis here, we have the palisade layer. This is where the chloroplasts are at and the chlorophyll is at. And this right here is the area that does photosynthesis. So you got the palisade layer. Then down here you have the spongy layer, these little circles. The spongy layer does a small amount of photosynthesis, and they're also spaced out to allow for evaporation of water to take place so that the water can evaporate within the leaf. And finally down here, if you look where the little hand is at in the picture, is the stomata or the stoma. The stoma basically allow carbon dioxide to come into the leaf and excess water to go out. And they basically open and close. They become larger when the leaf needs more carbon dioxide or to release more water, and they become smaller when the leaf needs less carbon dioxide or when it needs to release less water. So in a nutshell, you've got your epidermis, which protects the leaf and has a waxy coating. You've got your veins, which allow water and sugar to go in and out of the stem. You've got your palisade layer, which has the chloroplasts and actually does photosynthesis. You have your spongy layer, which does a little bit of photosynthesis and allows for evaporation of water within the leaf. And finally, you have your stoma or your stomata, which let carbon dioxide come in and extra water go out. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the process by which water travels through a plant and is then released back into the atmosphere. It is actually a part of the water cycle. What happens is the roots down here pull water out of the soil, okay, and that water travels up the stem through the xylem, okay, and out to the leaves through the veins in the leaves, okay, and goes into the leaves. And then it goes out through the stomata and into the atmosphere. So if the plant has too much water in it, when the roots pull in too much water, that water will go up the xylem, it'll go into the veins of the leaf and out the stomata and back into the atmosphere. And again, it's one of the ways that water vapor gets into the atmosphere through the water cycle.